Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report because without you guys, well, we know life would suck without you guys. I'm sitting here, just got back home from work. Let me adjust the microphone. I think I've got actually. No, okay, we should be good. Hopefully, guys, if the mic sounds funny, let me know. If it's not, let me know. Here we are. We're watching the Washington stinking Redskins versus the Eagles. It is 3-0. And I got to tell you, both teams look like hot garbage. Um, I'm trying to remember the last time I've seen a 1st and 33 from these Eagles. The well-lubed machine. The team that everybody said is the best team in the NFL. Well, thus far, they haven't shown me dog doo-doo. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining in. And how much nicer is it to be here on a Monday night after the Cowboys win? And I know everyone keeps saying the Dallas Cowboys only beat the San Francisco 49ers. They suck. But I guarantee you, those people would be out there being the first ones to talk about the Dallas Cowboys suck and they lost and everything else. But that's okay because I don't really care about all the haters. They're going to hate regardless. But I got to tell you, this is the week. This is the week that I love. Now, for all of you guys that aren't old like me, you have not seen anything. I wish my son, who's 27 years old, knew what Redskins Dallas week used to mean. Back in the day, these two teams hated each other because there was a free agency. Players were Dallas Cowboy players basically for life as well as for Redskins. And it wasn't about being a free agent going team to team to team to get the biggest paycheck, where you're a hired gun like Deion Sanders was. You were a Dallas Cowboy player for life. And you hated the Washington Redskins, and the Redskins hated us. Back in the day, there was a thing called newspapers. I know most of you don't know what I'm talking about. It's kind of like an 8-track tape, or a cassette. But there was this paper that all your sports and news came on. You would wait and go outside and pick up the newspaper just to see what the Redskins had to say about the Dallas Cowboys. And when they said something bad, it was called locker room material. They would put it up in the locker room because, like, Dexter Manley would say things like, "I'm going to clean Danny White's clock out." Or you had George Allen talking about how much he hated the Dallas Cowboys, that losing was like a part of him dying inside. Go ahead, Michael. Go ahead. It was truly something to witness because it was literally the air was electric. The buildup all week long. To see the Redskins in that dump, RFK, which just had the last soccer game. I hope they implode that damn thing. And I would actually like to see them build a new stadium because FedEx Field is one of the worst stadiums in the NFL. It sucks. But I will be there on Sunday with Michael, with Joe Boo, and a few of you friends there to bitch slap the Washington Redskins. But it was truly the week of the game was as good as the game. It's not like that anymore. Last year we had Fat Rob talking about the Cowgirls. Don't nobody care about the Cowgirls. And then he got smacked down, didn't he? But that would have been tame back in the day. I remember my dad with all his coworkers, because I grew up in Washington, D.C. area. There weren't a lot of Cowboy fans like there are now. And so all those Redskin fans will be looking out for my dad to put that $5 or $10 bet down and everything else and look to him to talk trash to. It's still good. It's still great to pay the Washington Redskins, but it's still not the same thing. So right now, it looks like it's a battle of attrition here, that this may be one of the ugliest Monday night games we've had in a while. And quite frankly, my son is talking about, man, these teams look terrible. And I said, good. The last thing we want to do is to see either of these teams look good. What we want is the two of them to beat the hell out of each other and the Redskins barely win and have half the team hurt. That's a win for us. We definitely don't want the Eagles to win because we don't want them to go 6-1 and be that much further ahead. But if you recall last year about those Eagles, they started out 3-0 and then went downhill from there. So, all of you Eagle fans and the moron Tom Donnelly, who's been talking a lot, I've got to get him back on here again. Don't think that your team is going to go 15-1. They're going to be coming back to earth, and at the moment, they look like they're coming back to earth right now. But we'll see how the game goes. But on to our Dallas Cowboys. Somebody just made a comment about Taco when Taco is going to show up. All right, guys, please stop with the Taco is a bust stuff, okay? There's a couple things going on here. What I try and tell you is rookie pass rushers, and I said this from the beginning, don't expect a lot from a rookie pass rusher. It takes time to develop. In fact, let me talk to you over here. Understand that there are very few Reggie Whites that come out and get 15 sacks as a rookie. Right now, we actually have a great situation because this isn't the same pass rush that we've had in past years. Remember a few weeks ago, before the season, they kept saying, who's going to rush the passer for the Cowboys? They've got nobody. They can't touch the quarterback. They're going to have all these rookies, and they don't have anybody to rush the quarterback. Well, right now, the Dallas Cowboys are 6th in sacks in the NFL. We have 21 sacks. Think back 2 years ago, we only had 29 for the season. We're 6 games in and have 21 sacks, 6 in the NFL in sacks. Calais Campbell leads the NFL with 10. DeMarcus Lawrence has 9.5, one more than he's had in his career, and is definitely on pace to be the best pass rusher we've had since Jason Hatcher, which had 11 in 2013. You've got David Irving, who's only played 2 games, but Lordy, he looks unstoppable. 3 sacks in 2 games. You've got DeMarcus Lawrence with 9.5. You got Tyrone Crawford with, I believe, 2. You've got Collins with, I think, 3. So my question is, if you've got the 6th best pass rush in the NFL, are you going to mess with that and bring in a rookie who's still learning? You're not. That is the good thing that our defense has done. That is the one spot that you can say, okay, we're good. We're fine right there. Let's not change what we're doing because we're succeeding. So Taco can't get on the field because the other guys are balling. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being 6th in the NFL in sacks. I'm okay with knocking the snot out of the quarterbacks. I'm okay with teams having to say, we got to worry about DeMarcus Lawrence and David Irving, and then somebody else steps up. So Taco is young, and he's learning. So he's in a great position where he doesn't have to go out there and get the hell beat out of him. He can stand back and watch and learn. How many quarterbacks have we seen that have been thrown into the fire that lose confidence and get destroyed? Might I just say Cleveland Browns? Everybody that they ever draft? Because guys are forced into the lineup too soon, they get screwed up. They lose their confidence. Let the man learn. Let the man earn it. Let him want to get out there and succeed. Because I'll give you a perfect example right now. Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith had his best game yesterday. Why did Jalen Smith have his best game yesterday? Because, not just because of Sean Lee. He had his best game because he wasn't counted on for every single play. They could pick and choose when to put him in there where he wasn't over his head. He wasn't worried about, okay, I got to cover pass coverage. Is my leg going to hold up on me? Oh, no, it's a run play. They got him out here, not winded, in spots where he could learn, develop, and wasn't the key player out there. And that's what we need to do with Taco. Bring him along slowly. DeMarcus Lawrence, I always bring him up because he was injured half of his rookie season. And they started putting him in, and you could say the same thing that, oh, DeMarcus Lawrence, he's a bust. He's a first-round draft pick, and he's not doing jack crap. I'm sorry, second-round draft pick. He's not doing jack crap. He's a bust. But by the time the playoffs came around, he got 2 sacks of Matthew Stafford, which was key for us getting one of our 2 playoff wins in the Jason Garrett era. The next year, he had 8 sacks. Now, the year after that, he was injured and had the suspension and stuff. But you understand where I'm coming with this. Guys don't come out of the box being just a beast. That happens sometimes. Sometimes you get a Dak Prescott. But more times than not, you get a Jared Goff. Give the guy some chance, okay? Okay, Andre 5000. I was horny as could be, so you watched some porn. Okay, all right. Okay. Anyway, well, Alex, and again, then that's what I'm saying will happen with Taco. The thing with Taco again is I don't want to pull anybody off of the field right now that's playing lights out. These guys are playing phenomenal. Don't change that up. That's the one thing you can say has been consistent on this team is a pass rush. Don't mess with it. Make the guy earn it, and he'll be fine. Give him a chance because the one thing I will say about Rod Martinelli, the Tampa 2, I think maybe has passed its time, or maybe we just don't have the right guys for the system. But the one thing that Rod Martinelli does is he takes very little and makes a lot when it comes to pass rushers. We've seen him take guys off the scrap heap, like David Irvin basically was a practice squad player. Right now, you're looking at David Irvin saying, you know what, in the last few games, that guy has been a beast. One of the better pass rushers in the NFL those last couple of games of last year and the 2 games he's played this year. He was a practice squad guy last year. And you've seen him do that with a lot of different guys. Quite frankly, I wouldn't mind having a different defensive coordinator, just having Rod Martinelli taking care of the defensive line because he is that good with getting the most out of guys. Give Taco some time to work with Rod Martinelli, and if come the end of next year he's not doing anything, I'm more than happy to say he's a bust. Okay? Another thing, of course, is there's still no refill for Joe Boo, and how can we not have a refill for Joe Boo? We actually made some more wings here tonight. I haven't actually had dinner. Went to work, busted butt, and got back here because I've got a live stream with you guys. And Joe Boo, I'm stealing a little bit of rum myself here on the rocks. So Joe Boo's got his room. I got a little shot, a little taste. I got to get up 5 o'clock in the morning and get downtown to finally put that bulkhead in. I'm still amazed about some people who talk about Dak Prescott. There's still some people out there that say, I haven't seen enough of Dak Prescott to think that he's the real deal. It's only been a year and a half. He misses so many throws. He's not throwing for 300-400 yards a game. You do realize that Dak Prescott is tied for first for most touchdowns in the NFL. You guys do know that, right? He's got 14 touchdown passes and 3 rushing ones. Deshaun Watson has 15 touchdown passes and 2 rushing, 17. Tom Brady has 15. So Dak Prescott, people still say is garbage that he's not throwing for 300 yards, yet he's had 3 touchdown passes 3 weeks in a row. Something Roger Staubach and Troy Aikman never did. Yeah, he's averaging about 250 yards a game, but we've got a running game, and we're a ball control offense. Because what you have to understand is he can go deep. In fact, he's one of the second most accurate deep passer in the NFL. But what we don't want to do is to score quickly. We score quickly, that means that defense is coming back out there a lot faster. It's more time on the field. What you want to do with this offense, it's a passing, balanced offense, is eat up the clock. A slow death. Hit 5, 6 different receivers. Run the ball. Occasionally do a read option. Keep defenses off balance so they don't know what to try and shut down. Do we try and put 8 men in the box and hit Zeke? Then you do play action. You roll Dak outside where Dak is deadly accurate on the move. You throw in a reverse here and there. You want to keep defenses off balance, and you want to chew up the clock. Because when you do that, you make the other teams want to try and score quickly. And the way they're going to try and score quickly is pass. And then you're going to use, guess what? Your number one asset, which is your pass rush. You want David Irving, you want Tyrone Crawford, you want Collins, and you want the Tank to pin their ears back and go for the quarterback. That's how we are going to win, guys. Keeping the defense fresh, keeping the other teams in passing situations, and go balls to the wall to knock the snot out of the quarterback. That is the game plan. That's how you're going to win. So other teams you'll see, yeah, they're going deep. They're launching the ball down the field and all that. But here's the thing. It's a high risk, high reward. You're throwing more interceptions. We're not getting a lot of turnovers, but we're not making them. So all of you guys that are out there saying, well, Tony Romo was so much better. Well, guess what? Dak Prescott is on pace for 45 touchdowns. Let me say that again. Dak Prescott is on pace for 45 touchdowns, 37 passing and 8 rushing. And no, I do not smoke weed, Ray. Sorry. I'm old school. I'm not pissed off at anybody else smoking. I'm just not a weed smoker. What rum do I suggest for mixing? Well, it depends on the mood. Because I actually love, rums all have different tastes. So sometimes I might like some just straight up old Bacardi and things like that if I'm doing some mixed drinks or something like that. But I actually like the Zaya rum, which is really good if you're doing like straight up and just kind of sipping on the rocks. We've got Joe Boo's Ron Zapia, 25-year-old rum here for game day for just some extra mojo. So for me, there really isn't a bad rum. Is Shango streaming? I don't know if Shango is streaming or not. But anyway, Tony Romo's best season touchdowns, I believe, is 34, and I think he had 19 interceptions. So right now, Dak Prescott is on pace to throw 37 touchdowns and 8 rushing touchdowns on top of it. And on pace for 9 interceptions. Guys, what more do you want from a quarterback who's not even making $1 million a year? I don't know how anybody can hate on Dak Prescott. He's not out in the limelight there partying and everything else. He's not an arrogant SOB like, say, an Aaron Rodgers. He puts his team first. Good guy on and off the field. Not a tequila drinker. I had a bad experience many, many, many years ago where I OT'd over tequila one time and had a bad, bad night. And ever since then, I just can't do tequila. But Joe Boo, he's got me with rum. You can't see it. Shabu needs a hat for a bat. Okay. Um, Now, Dan Bailey, Dallas girl, you're 100% right. That's the scary part is losing Dan Bailey for a few weeks with that groin injury. They're definitely going to be bringing in some kickers, um, but nobody is going to be like Dan Bailey. The thing we got to hope for is that our offense can keep kicking butt and keep scoring. And speaking of our offense, you guys do realize that we're averaging 27 and a half points per game, right? That we've scored over 30 points the last 3 games, right? You guys do know that, right? Well, thank you, Dak Green. I appreciate that. Um, Brandon Green, oh my God. You literally said a mouthful. Xavier Woods needs to start without a doubt. I'm sorry. I'm so done with Jeff Heath playing safety. Sorry, Jeff Heath is just not the one. My thing with safeties, and again, I'm an old school football guy. I love guys that knock the snot at you. I like a safety that literally is trying to take your head off. I want wide receivers to think about going across the middle because they're thinking about their life, that they end up alligatoring a lot of these catches. I just don't see that with Jeff Heath. Jeff Heath, to me, is always chasing the guy. It seems like he's always, oh, God, I got to try and get up, and then boom. Or when he goes to fill the hole, he actually got hurt a little bit on this. He was literally in the hole. He tried to make a move, missed the guy, and next thing he's up limping. I don't know what he injured besides his feelings, but he is not good enough for me as a safety. Byron Jones, um, I can't even pronounce that name there, but I agree with you. Byron Jones. Byron Jones is an athletic freak of nature, can jump out of his skin, but he's not a hitter either. He is not a safety, and that's where I think we have to look at getting a premier safety. We get a guy that can knock your socks off, get a guy that can really hit. That defense is going to be that much better. We're also going to need to be looking at linebacker too as well next year because Sean Lee has been fantastic, but I'm afraid Sean Lee's body's going to start failing him. He's had the concussions, he's had the hamstring problems, and you see the difference of having a Sean Lee. Jalen Smith can play good in spots, but you don't know how fully that hamstring is going to be. Hitchens is up and down. So when we start looking at next year, when we have all these draft picks, we got to look at safety. We got to look at linebacker. Our defensive line, depending on what we do with DeMarcus Lawrence, if we re-sign him, I feel good about the guys that we've got there. We'll probably end up letting Tyrone Crawford go, but you've got enough good guys that are there that are coming along and doing well. We may also need to look at offensive line, but let's not worry about that. I digress. But right now, I think Xavier Woods has shown me enough that he should be starting and getting experience out there. And I think he'll be a better player than what we're getting from Heath. But hats off to Jeff Heath for coming in and kicking and doing a bang-up job for somebody who's truly not really a kicker. I might say that he actually did better than Nick Folk did for Tampa Bay. Terrence Williams, yeah, I don't know what happened to Terrence Williams. Terrence Williams has been up and down, and he seems like he's been down. Oh, Victor, man, you know how I feel about the fake-ass Cowboy fans. It's amazing how this is a straight garbage game, by the way, this Redskins Eagles game. Both of them look sorry. The Redskins look like they're about to go in and possibly get a touchdown and go up 10-3, but I'm not impressed by either of them. In fact, I don't see too many Eagle fans here tonight, so if the Eagles lose tonight, I guess it'll be a quiet week.
Nope, out. No touchdown.
Well, you prefer cover safeties as hard hitting ones. Well, I'll tell you what. I will say this: we don't have either out there with Jeff Heath as far as a cover or a hard-hitting safety. Sorry, Jeff Heath cannot cover. Yeah, there is a lot of penalties on this one, and I'm hoping. Here's the great thing. Switching over back to the Redskins. It's nice that our Cowboys are at home, hopefully tucked in bed right now, watching this game and relaxing, knowing that the Redskins are in Philadelphia right now, playing a dogfight, basically knowing that they need to win this game because they don't want to go down 2 games to the Eagles, that they've got to get out of Philadelphia tonight alive, and it'll be 3, 4 o'clock in the morning before they get home. They're going to be on a short week, as opposed to what we had to do playing on a Monday night, playing the Rams, who played on Thursday night, and then turn around and have to play Green Bay. So, guys, I know you don't want to make excuses for losing, but if you look at both of those games that we lost, that we had our opportunities to win, we played really well, offense and defense, on the first half, but it looked like they ran out of gas. And that is a definite possibility, at least in my mind. I know a lot of people won't want to agree with me on that, but, when you look at it, football, there's very little difference between winning and losing, and the slightest thing can be enough to put it in somebody else's favor. All right, so the Redskins are up 10-3. Okay. Xavier, well, here's the thing with Awuzie. With that hamstring, the problem is they've been trying like every 2 weeks to get him back out there. And with a hamstring, it's so easy to re-aggravate it. And being a cornerback, you are having to plant and go in so many different directions. There's so much strain on that hamstring that any little tweak in there is going to get aggravated just being out there and playing. They really just need to almost just shut him down until that thing is healed completely, because it's been re-aggravated over and over and over again. I can't tell you exactly how many plays Xavier played yesterday, but he played a lot more than he had been. Hey, Jackie, how you doing tonight? Well, Donald Duck, we'll have to wait and see. The NFL is literally a week-to-week, half-to-half league right now. When you look at where the NFL was 3 weeks ago, you looked at Kansas City and said, oh, my God, Kansas City, they're, punched their tickets to the Super Bowl. You looked at Atlanta, and Atlanta, okay, they were hitting on all cylinders. You looked at New England and said, New England, they're not looking quite so good. But in that time, all of a sudden, Atlanta's lost 3 games in a row. Kansas City's lost 2 games in a row. And now it seems like New England has got their mojo back because they literally bitch-slapped Atlanta. So all these teams that started out slow, like New Orleans that lost 2 to begin with, all of a sudden they're leading the NFC South. Carolina Panthers, who went to New England and won, got beat by the Bad News Bears. Cam Newton has gotten beat down. You look at teams that are losing quarterbacks left and right. Miami, Cutler's got cracked ribs. You look at Arizona, now they lost Carson Palmer, who, is past his prime. There's a whole lot of football left. And all those people that last week have been saying the Cowboys are done, the season is over, we need to tank. I'm sorry. You don't know what you're talking about when it comes to football. There are teams that are going to make the playoffs that you're not even thinking about right now. Rico is eligible to start working out this week. But, yes, this week. Tomorrow is this week, son. That's Michael over there. He's eating some of the hot wings that I'd like to be munching down on right now. But he can't play until after week 8 because he's been on injured reserve. Sarah Green, you hit the nail on the head because people have been beating the 49ers, but deep pass by, Carson Wentz is not hitting too well right here. Just let me check the stats. As much as I would like to fire Jason Garrett, Alex, I've been wanting to get rid of Jason Garrett now for about 7 years. I think I've been wanting to get rid of him along with Wade Phillips. I think he's got something on Jerry Jones. Maybe he's actually his son or something. I don't know what it is, but he's not going to be going anywhere this season. And with the whole Zeke Elliott situation, even if they don't make the playoffs, he'll get a pass like he did in 2015 with Tony Romo going out. Thus far, is that correct? Carson Wentz only has 24 yards passing? You mean the guy that they were ready to give the MVP trophy to? Wow. Funny. Because the way everybody, I really and truly love this. I truly love watching ESPN and everything else because everybody was on the Eagles jockstrap. They were talking about how good, excuse my language, I'm sorry, ladies, forgive me. But everybody was talking about Carson Wentz is the best quarterback in football. The Eagles are the most complete team in the NFL. And I'm sorry, they're looking kind of like the Cleveland Doo-Doo Browns right now. They are looking pretty bad. So could it be that they're headed down for that slide like everybody else? 2 of 7 passes for 24 yards and 13 yards. Are you? Wait. Somebody get Tommy Eagle on the phone here. Michael, call Tommy, please. It was almost comical because the Eagle fans have been feeling themselves. The Eagles have been talking cash trash. My buddy, Tommy Eagle, did a video yesterday copying a DC comedian, Chris Paul, talking about NBD syndrome. Never been to Dallas syndrome. So he did a whole video talking about Cowboy fans that have never been to Dallas, that they can't even point it out on the map. Yeah. I remember I had this thing called BTS. And it's a affliction that attacks in cities like Cleveland and used to be Jacksonville and DC. It was bad team syndrome. See, the way BTS works is you start out in August with a lot of hope and dreams of going to the playoffs, the Super Bowls, like Eagles fans do every year. But then by week 4, you realize that your team sucks. And you go through fits of anger, You get pissed off. You cuss. You're mad as hell. But then you go into denial. You start thinking that my team can turn it around. But come December, it's full blown, and you're in the basement. So the Eagle fans last year, they started out really good, and they were pounding that chest. Carlos, okay, actually, back to the game for next week. We've got a little change up here. I've got to let you guys know the location. We're going to be changing where we're going to be the thing. I've got to actually get the parking pass tomorrow. The one that we normally get, we don't have. So I'm going to see where we're going to be. There's cash lots. If you've never been to FedEx Field, there's cash lots that you can pay for, which are kind of outside. You can take the Metro, and they have shuttle buses that go in. Or there's actually parking passes that you can go ahead and buy online. The parking passes are about $50 or so. So you're almost better to take the Metro out there if you can, or take one of the cash lots and take the shuttle buses. Because quite honestly, no matter where you park, you're screwed at getting out. You're almost better being at one of the satellite lots to get out of there, because if you're close to the stadium parking, you can't get out of the stadium. You'll be there literally for hours. Yes, Brian, I saw your email. I've been busy as can be today. So I will get back to you with more details. Probably by Wednesday, I'll have everything nailed down better for everybody who wants to go. If you're interested in being part of the tailgate and you want to help out and get a Jobu shot glass, because I'm trying to do a whole lot of stuff and it's actually costing a good chunk of change, If you want to help out with it, if you donate $10, you'll get a Jobu shot glass with all the rum that you want. If you do 25, you'll get a Jobu T-shirt and still all the rum that you want, and that'll help me cover some of the expenses and stuff. It helped to spread the mojo. Read my last comment. Okay, it's kind of gone back up there, Brandon. Let me see if I can find it. Deion Sanders. Do I ever come to Dallas? Deion Sanders, yes, I do. I actually have a couple of stones there at the Walk of Fame. I'm going to probably be trying to go later on this year. It's just been things have been crazy. Well, here's a good thing, Brandon. Okay, yeah, with Cooper Rush, it looks like Cooper Rush is now our backup quarterback as opposed to Calvin Moore. They basically kind of said that he is going to be the one that's going to be active as opposed to Calvin Moore. Thank God. I'm not sold on Calvin Moore at all. Oh, man, you live only 15 minutes from the stadium? Well, that's fantastic, man. Definitely, Fernando. I'm going to be going, like I said, November or December. I'm going to try to go again. I'm thinking about trying to do the Eagle game in Dallas. But like I said, I'm working on. Life is crazy. I wish I were a rich man where I could just go to every single game and just build houses for people. But fortunately, you got to do what you got to do to survive. Well, Sergeant Pete, 10-6 was my original prediction going into the season because everybody kept saying, "Oh, well, we were 13-3. We're going to do even better next year." And I'm like, no, that's not how it works. You're going to be playing a tough schedule, and teams are going to want what you have, so they're going to be coming after you hard and heavy. So, being more realistic. Sorry, don't want to get the mouse wet here. Being more realistic, 10-6 was more of what you should end up being. And 10-6 should be fine as far as possibly winning the division, definitely for a wild card spot. A Redskin player. Oh, now, I don't mean to say this, but I said to Michael, what you want is you want the Redskins to win and get banged up. And I guess that's not really a nice thing to say, but that's kind of what you want to have happen. But right now, the Philadelphia Eagles are looking pretty bad. The Redskins have 187 yards of offense to 35. Now, here's the one thing you got to remember. Football is now a tale of two halves, so we'll see what happens in the second half with the Eagles. But thus far, they definitely look like garbage. Will 10-6 get us in? Oh, definitely. 10-6 will definitely get you in. 10-6 may still be able to win the division if you win the right games. I'm not thinking that the Eagles are going, even though they have a soft schedule, I don't think the Eagles will win more than 10 games. If we take care of business ourselves, we'll be fine. With the NFC right now, quite frankly, it's wide open. And the main thing you want to do is you just want to get into the playoffs. Texas is my city. Texas is a pretty big state, but okay. Brandon, I will definitely be at the draft next year. Definitely. Not sure who receives in the second half because I missed the beginning of the game. Brian, I agree. The Eagles' schedule is weak, but they still have some games that they can lose, like to us. All of a sudden, they lose this one. If we can take care of them twice, all of a sudden, that's 4 losses right there. And they still have some other games that they can lose too. And quite frankly, I kind of brought this point up before, is I think part of the problem for our Cowboys is when things come too easy. When we have gotten into the playoffs and been the number 1 seed, you would think that, okay, we would end up having some momentum. We got a home field advantage. We should be ready to roll. But that hasn't been the case. It seems like we always just lay an egg every time we've got home field advantage. And more times than not, it's the teams that have to fight the last week to make the playoffs. Look at the New York stinking Giants. They won the Super Bowl both times at 9-7. They lost to New England in the regular season, just made it into the playoffs, went on a run, and beat a 17-0 New England Patriots team. So maybe we need to go ahead and have to fight to get in. That's at least my thinking, at least right now. Because what we've been doing so far ain't working. We got to try something different. Let's try and fight and become a wild card and see what happens for our team. Tremaine, I would love to see 11-5. The good thing, at least, when you looked at our schedule originally, you looked at some of these games. You said Kansas City, you said Seattle, you said Green Bay, you said the Raiders, you said the Giants. You were looking, the Giants twice. You're saying, man, this is killer. But right now, Kansas City's defense is not stopping people, and all of a sudden they've lost 2 games in a row. So we've got them after the Redskins. The Redskins are winning this game, but I got to tell you, they are beat up and they look like hot garbage. Seeing what the Eagles are doing thus far, the Eagles don't look that great. But with those teams aside, you got the Atlanta Falcons now. Offense couldn't do anything against New England. Atlanta had an offense. It's disappeared. Maybe we're catching those guys at the right time, or maybe those guys, like I had said before, is I thought that they were going to be downhill. Super Bowl hangover. So maybe that game isn't as bad as you think. Seattle has been winning, but I can't say that Seattle is truly doing that great. I mean, that's one of those iffy games. The Raiders, well, they did win against Kansas City, but the Raiders aren't the same team that you thought. So all of a sudden, a lot of those games that you thought were going to be impossible maybe don't look quite as bad. So I had said we need to go 8-3 down the stretch to make the playoffs. And so far we got one of those. So if we can go 7-3 here on out, we should be good to go and still make the 10-6. Victor, you got to be a special kind of stupid. Your sweet potato skins. I like that one. I really like that one, Victor. Victor, man, where's the videos at, man? Victor, if you guys have not seen Victor Baker's channel, subscribe to it because Victor is hilarious, man. And Carson Wentz just got knocked down big time. And that's the other thing with the Eagles. I'm not going to lie to you. Carson Wentz has been taking a lot of hits. I'm not sure he's going to be upright at this rate by the end of the season. Yeah. Brandon, yes, I'm going to the draft. Wentz dropped again. Oh, no. Yes, we play Seattle again, but we play them at home at least. Thank God we're not playing in Seattle because I got to tell you, I've been to Seattle one time, and I remember a guy told me, he said, man, take some earplugs with you. I'm like, come on, man. Who needs to have earplugs to go to a football game? Okay. Maybe I spoke too soon.
Oh, yeah, I like that dance.
Okay, the Eagles, great pass by Carson Wentz. Deep pass, touchdown. Looks like it's going to be tied up before the half. Okay. Looks like it's a dogfight. But Seattle, it's literally like being inside of a jet engine being in that stadium.
I like that dance, though.
Brian, let's see. Skip Bayless.
I like that dance.
Skip Bayless thinks we're best in the NFC. Give us a couple more weeks and let's see. I'm not ready to say that one just yet because, again, we just beat the 49ers. We've had some couple of games that we look like dog do. Let's get down the road a little bit more and see where we are. Skip Bayless will say stuff. He'll put that out there because he'll get a lot more clicks and stuff on there because of a statement like that. Well, Cold Milk, that's going to be the big if when we're talking about Zeke Elliott. The NFL got a little setback. The NFL thought they were going to be cute and be able to move up the hearing for Zeke Elliott before the Redskin game to make sure he's suspended for that one. But people are giving me a hard time because I keep saying that sooner or later the NFL is going to win. And what I'm worried about is when he finally has to have that suspension. If it's at a crucial time, like maybe the playoffs or going down the stretch, that's going to really hurt. He played like a man possessed yesterday. Hats off to him. Maybe having been suspended for 4 days, not being able to go to the team on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, maybe that was a wake-up call for him because that's the first time he's actually not been able to show up with the team. I'm hoping that that's what the case was and that this week he's going to be playing lights out. But it's going to be hard still to beat the NFL because what people don't seem to understand, it's not about whether or not he's guilty of domestic violence. What these hearings are is, does the NFL have the power to be the judge, jury, and executioner to make these calls? Because the NFLPA is trying to get Roger Goodell's power to do these things. That's what it's about. They're not trying to say, they're looking at it and saying, well, I don't think you gave him a fair shot. So the question is, does the NFL have too much power and control and say? And in the end, I think the New York courts are going to side with big business, which is the NFL. And it worries me about when it's going to happen. Why can't we just win all the way? Oh, Chris, that's possible, but not likely to win all out. That's pretty hard. Jackie, you're right. I am beating a dead horse, but we're going to have to deal with it sooner or later, one way or the other. Wow. Yeah, King of Com, you got it right. The NFLPA did give Roger Goodell the power, and now they realize, oh crap, we screwed up, and they're trying to get it back. But it's going to get ugly in 2021 when they have to redo the deal. We may definitely see a long lockout or strike. Um, all right, so we got 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the half, tied up score 10-10. And I agree with you. I hate the Eagles. When will Rico be back? Rico gathers will be back. He's actually back practicing this week, but can't play till after week 8. Do we win the East? Well, Corey, that's a good question. That's the $1 million question. I think a lot will have to do with what happens here tonight, because if the Eagles get this game, all of a sudden they're 6-1 with the schedule they have. They're going to be hard to catch, even with us playing them twice. Okay, that's okay, Shalahal. All right, good luck with that one. Andrew, it's all about the money. I agree with you on that one. How do we win the NFC East? We've got to win the games against our opponents to straight up, and we basically need to probably go at least 7-3, maybe 8-2 the rest of the way. Okay, Trump 16, I can't help you with that one. We should have kept Escobar. I think Escobar just got – Michael, didn't Escobar just get cut from Baltimore?
No, he got picked up by Baltimore.
Okay, he just got picked up by Baltimore. That's what it is. Yeah, Lincoln Office. I heard that a Dallas writer mentioned Joe Boo for the Yankees training camp next year. I don't know that they're talking about this Joe Boo. They might have been talking about the original one, but thanks for the comment. Let me know. Amen, Jackie. Cowboys need to sign Dan Carpenter. Are you serious? Really? Is that a joke, Boomer Sooner? Escobar. Lincoln Hawk, you met Joe Boo. Okay, where did I meet you at? Are we talking about this Joe Boo? Corey, that's the thing that has definitely been missing on our defense. I was hoping that we'd get an interception We haven't had an interception in, 4 games now? That's the big thing that is definitely missing. If we could finally get some of those, it would help our team a lot. What's the Eagles' record? 5-1 right now going to this game. We got turnovers. We got fumbles, and on the punt return, and we got the strip fumble. But we didn't get any interceptions. I can't believe people are still talking about Tony Romo. Oh, come on, guys. Let it go. Say, man, yeah, special teams TDs would be good. I'm just happy that we're not turning it over on special teams very much. Yes, sure, Joe Boo. Well, okay, we'll take it to that. Well, I tell you what, amazing TV. If we got Jimmy Johnson back, I think the internet might break from everybody going through and Googling that one. That would be, if Jerry Jones wanted to truly make a big splash, that would be the one to do. Tony who? Amen to that. Romo is definitely a better. He's a good announcer, and he won't get hurt doing that. Anthony Jenkins, I guess you're right that they just won't let the Tony Romo thing go. Well, thank you, Frank. I appreciate it. Who is our kicker? We don't know right now because they're going to be bringing in some guys to kick the tires on to see how they look. Well, Joe Boo is definitely feeling better because the Cowboys got a win. So he definitely is looking up. Eat the wings. I'll eat those in just a few more minutes when we get off your live streaming. Where did I get the hat? Actually, I think I got it at Party City, Sandman. Carson Wentz running and getting knocked out of bounds. Okay. Who's better, Woods or Woodsy? I would say Woods right now because Woods can stay on the field, whereas a Woodsy can't seem to get on for more than a couple of plays before pulling his hamstring. Yeah, these are Joe Boo's wings, and they're definitely nice and spicy. And we're definitely going to be having some of those at the Redskin game on Sunday. The Cowboys desk, I actually built this, guys. Actually, this and the locker and all that stuff. I'm a cabinet maker and do pretty much all the stuff you see. The bar that's actually over here and everything else. Raphael Seption, yeah, he was a child molester. John Kerry is a kicker. Let's see who's out there. Just don't bring in Nick Falk. I heard Tony Romo got injured broadcasting. Now that's a funny one. Frank, I wouldn't mind seeing. Oh, looks like the Eagles are. Damn, Eagles are going to score again. So much for the Redskins helping us out. John Gruden, I think, is itching actually to get back, and I think he would be interested in coaching the Cowboys because you've got a ready-made team, kind of like he had in Tampa, that basically he just needs to take it to the next level. Rico can't play until after week 8. He was actually able to start practicing, but because he was on injured reserve, he was out for 8 weeks. The Eagles do have a pretty good offensive line when they're healthy. Lane Johnson has had some nagging injuries as well as their tackle, but when they're on the field, they are pretty good. Yeah, Eagle Trolls are on the rise because all of a sudden they're getting back in the game. I can't say if we'll end up getting a new coach next year. I guess it all depends on how bad the season goes, but unfortunately, I think we are stuck with Jason Garrett for the long haul again. So all we can do is hope for the best and expect the worst, and I guess we won't be disappointed. Oh, not Nick Folk, man. Come on, Joseph. No, we definitely do not want that guy in here. That would not be a good thing. Nick Folk has lost all his confidence completely. I actually think that John Gruden would be a good fit because John Gruden is one of those coaches that is not a team builder, but he's a guy who can take a team to the next level, like he did with Tampa Bay. when Tampa Bay basically aged out. He wasn't good at refilling the situation. But the Cowboys have that. We have no problem actually getting good talent on the field. In fact, I would say we've got more talent than most teams have. The problem is getting that talent to the next level. Jim Harbaugh would be another great one, but I don't think he's going to leave Michigan for the NFL. Is this considered a bad season? Well, Jag the Jester were 500. The question will be is, where does the season end? I mean, it's a little early to say the season is a great season. It's a little early to say it's a bad season. To me, with the talent that you have on the field, that you need to win a couple of playoff games. I mean, to be the number one seed and lose? Come on now. With the amount of Pro Bowl players that you had, the best running back in football, the rookie of the year quarterback, best offensive line in football, you couldn't win with home field advantage? Come on, man. Good night, Jackie. I guess I will see you hopefully on Friday night.
Yes, flag on the Redskins. Pass interference.
Okay, 30 seconds left in the half here.
Redskins got flag.
Well, last year was bittersweet because last year gave us a taste of what the team can do. But we got to take it to another level. Wow, that was questionable. Well, good night, Dad Green. Wow, it's almost 10 o'clock. Man, bring back Tom Landry. You going to bring him back from the dead, Thomas? 2020. I hope we don't have to wait till that long to get it. Is my son an Eagle fan? Oh, no, he's a Cowboy fan. He is hoping, I think he's rooting for the Redskins to win. But right now, let's see if the Redskins can hold him to a field goal here. There's 26 seconds left on the clock. Eagles have 2 timeouts. 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. Good night, Chuck Baby. Good night, Pete. Good night, Josh Brown. Janikowski. Okay. I'm not sure who he's rooting for. Head coach Michael Irvin. Okay. How many wins? I think it's going to take at least 10 wins to win the NFC East, Joe. Bill B. I'm not ready to say you support a new quarterback, but I'm not ready to say he's better than Tony Romo, Aikman, or Staubach, other than he hasn't won to play. Okay, that's fair enough. Night, Corey. Interception. I wish. Dak is our future without a doubt. Sounds like he's cheering for the Eagles. Who knows what he's doing? 26 seconds left to go. Let's see what's going to happen here. It's timeout. Dave Campo. Come on, man. Jim Harbaugh would definitely be a good head coach. Sean Payton is another possibility because Sean Payton still has his family in Texas. So, although they're playing really well, they might not get rid of him. You'd almost need the Saints to kind of go downhill. Later, Matt. I'll see you guys later. And wow, guys, I can't believe that it is already 10 o'clock. Another night has gone through. I'm going to get ready to throw down all these chicken wings. But I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. We'll be doing another live stream, Calvin, on Friday night. We'll be at the game in Washington. I will have a video up with the final plans for the tailgate that we're going to be doing at the Redskin game. And I'm hoping that you... Michael, are you rooting for the Eagles? I think you guys are right. I think he's rooting for the Eagles. I can't understand that one, but hey, it's hard to root for either of them because I hate both of them. But it is what it is. But guys, thank you guys for being here, and I will see you guys